love her like oh, yes, I love her like oh, yes, I love her like oh, yes, I love her like yes, I love her like oh, yes, I love her like oh, yes, I love her like oh, yes, I love her like yes, I love her like oh, yes, I love her like oh, yes, I love her like oh, yes, I love her like yes, I love her like oh, yes, I love her like oh, yes, I love her like oh, yes, I love her like
It's popping.
Chilling. So watching this Celtics and Pistons game.
Who up?
Boston up by 3 with 12 seconds left.
Must have been a good one.
Yeah.
If it ain't Toronto,
nigga, nobody is scared of Toronto, bro.
you ain't got to get scared to get your ass beat. Carolina saw that Monday night, or they were scared.
They were scared.
I mean, yeah. Chat, what's happening?
They were scared.
Popping? How everybody feeling? Happy day before Thanksgiving. I know some of y'all are blessed enough to get a 2-day work week. That must have been nice.
Yes, Lord. Well,
I thought you had. I was about to say you talking about days. Yes, Lord. I thought you had to work 3 days.
I did.
Oh,
I forgot.
Oh, it was that easy. What you got on your body? You got the long sleeve on?
Yeah.
Oh, you took hers?
She took mine and then left it here.
Yeah, I know she.
And then hit me up today talking about when I'm going home for Thanksgiving and when I'm getting back and all of this, and all of that.
On your body like that?
Yeah.
Asking a lot of questions.
So I told her stop asking so many questions.
Chat, that's very interesting.
I'll see you when I see you. What's interesting?
Listen, that's actually a narrative that I won't like. I'm not gonna do it, bro. But just know, like, if I really was COE, like COE, I would definitely like make that a thing for sure. For sure.
No, you wouldn't.
On God, I would.
I would just kill the narrative.
Nigga, they not gonna believe you over me, nigga. The fuck? Like the hell?
I mean, like y'all, if they believe you about what's going on with me, what's going on with my body, then they're just weird, bro. That's all I can say about them.
Fair enough. Chat was popping, man. Hope everybody is feeling all right. I know that Monday night was tough. Speaking of Monday night, huge success for FPFO. Shout out to everybody that joined the watch party and kicked it with us for the duration of the game. That meant a lot. Shout out to y'all. Hella love came through. I think we ended up getting like 20 new subs off of that via YouTube, and you know, the numbers were just crazy, man. So shout out to everybody that joined. You know, and kicked it with us for the game. The results were unfortunate, which is why we're here tonight. We are going to be doing our game review of the Monday Night Football game with the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, this theme, this setting is a bit different. You guys are typically used to getting a fully produced pod from us. We usually stay away from doing our game reviews on this just because everybody else in the space does it this way. However, it's the day before Thanksgiving, and I already went up to where we be recording at this week, so I wasn't doing it twice. I've put 20,000+ miles on my car since I got it in April. So
who cares?
We'll be minimizing trips.
Who cares? It's made for you to drive.
No.
I have more than that. I have more than that on my car.
Much. You said what?
I have more than that on my car.
Well, nigga, I got my car way more recent than you did, bro. And my car had less. Well, you had your car for what, 2.5 years now, nigga. I got my car in April, nigga. And
I don't know.
Like I said, 20,000+ miles.
Yeah, but it already had miles on it. So you're at 20. What do you mean?
Yeah, but it don't matter, nigga. It don't matter. I'm at 45,000. That's still too much, bro. For as long as I gotta keep it. No, hell no. Can't.
Well, I'm keeping the miles off of mine because I'm getting something new.
Well, that means that you should put more on that bitch.
What? How does that mean that?
That's how I see
it. Yeah, well, you might need a new prescription again. Because that's completely ass backwards.
Nah, my prescription is good.
The next shit I get won't even be miles. Won't even be a thing.
Ew.
Talking about you.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like. I mean, they're just inconvenient to me, but
Why?
it's your shit
How are they inconvenient?
because you got to stop like every fucking 3 hours to charge the bitch. Yeah, I'm
Not
impatient.
not necessarily. You don't.
I mean, more or less,
And then you only charge it for like
20 minutes.
10, 10, 20 minutes. Yeah, it's not even anything crazy. So if you got to stop and get food, then you might as well stop and charge your car.
Yeah, no, because and that's the thing, nigga. When I'm dolo, I don't do all that stopping shit, bro.
And for one, I got free charge at work anyway. So
Yeah, see that? Yeah, I just be on the road too much for that. I be on the
well,
road way too much for that. Way too much. Don't got time for it. But that's you. Like I said, I mean, shit, that's your brand. We all know
yeah, I
you
know.
rich, so I mean,
That's not true, bro.
it is, bro.
I wish that narrative would die.
Okay, you make more money than me, and you make more money than I would say probably 95% of our viewers. So that to me is rich. At your age, yeah, I don't know how many times I got to tell niggas I count pockets very well. I really do. No cap. All right. If you guys are new here, make sure to tap in with us on social media at For Panthers Fans only on Instagram and TikTok at FPFO_podcast on X. And obviously you can find our podcast on all DSPs as well as you see down below. If you're watching on YouTube right now, thank you so much for being here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell notification on. You can also find us at our home base, www.forpanthersfansonly.com on the World Wide Web. Go over right now 5 brand new items that released about a week and a half ago. We're accepting pre-orders for those right now. That is actually what you see Terrence have on currently. That is actually one of our samples. That is design will be on crew necks, so you can go place your pre-orders right now again on forpanthersfansonly.com.
I don't know if
Get
y'all
it
can see
locked
that.
in. Yeah, it's okay. You did a fine job modeling it. Yeah, so all of that is available right now. And actually, let me I'll do this real quick since we're still doing the intro. I'll just pull up our site
Why's my
so you guys
keyboard
can
messed
see.
up, bro?
You said what?
So why's my keyboard messed up?
No idea. Go over right now 5 brand new items. As you see, we have the Carolina Reaper V1 hoodie. We have the Nalo crew neck, the Magic 8 Ball tee, Protect the Bank, and then our Reaper V2. All of these items are available right now on forpanthersfansonly.com. Place your pre-orders. And yeah, we're gonna try our best to get it out before Christmas. That's the goal. Oh, nothing is showing.
Yes, nothing is showing at all.
Oh, thanks for telling me. Is something showing now?
Mm-mm.
No.
Nope.
Mm, maybe it's not meant to be. Let's give it another shot.
Oh, we're gonna get into it black.
Is that good? You can see that?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like that at all, bro. This is just what I had on for the
Sad.
day.
People don't support their team, win or lose.
So this is the narrative that we're going with.
They get embarrassed and start,
This is the
start
narrative that we
hiding,
going with.
their wardrobe. Pathetic.
So this is the narrative that we're going with, for real. I literally wear Panthers gear, win or lose. I literally wear Panthers gear every day of my life, bro.
So
My
what's the
apologies for switching it up. Mind you, this is coming from the same nigga, not Walk, but Terrence. The audacity, the audacity, literally
what? What does that
nothing,
mean?
nothing,
Yeah, the audacity to what?
nothing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
told you. Hey, what did I just tell you 10 minutes ago? JJ is always a bad guy in everybody's story, so it's nothing new to me. And I'm just glad that you've been around for long enough to see it for yourself. You know. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what you want me to say.
nothing. But no, shout out to the chat. Let's go ahead and get into it because we're on limited time tonight. We'll be done in an hour and 15 minutes max. Carolina Panthers lose 20-9. Monday Night Football. Just opening up real quick. I guess I'll go full and then I'll pass it over to Terrence. I hate to even like continue to say the same things over and over again, bro. Like really, yet again, just another missed opportunity from this 2025-2026 version of the Carolina Panthers. I mean, you go into Monday Night Football facing off against a quarterback who is, 1 week removed coming or 1 week off of injury. Brock Purdy looked like shit. I'll just be honest. He didn't look good. Your defense was able to force 3 turnovers in the first half. And sadly, what the story has been for the overwhelming majority of the season, the offense has had the inability to move the football. Bryce Young had displayed yet again the inability to run this offense properly. But again, this is one of those situations where all of the blame does not fall on Bryce Young. It doesn't. Did Bryce Young look like ass Monday night? 1,000%. And I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all right now, because we're live, and I know that with the chat, it gets a little different. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not even in the mood to go back and forth about Bryce Young. I'm telling y'all now, I'm telling Terrence now, everybody and whoever is listening, I'm not even in the mood because, again, this is why after the Atlanta game, me and Terrence were so vocal about still keeping the main thing after what happened against who did we play 2 weeks ago? The Saints, when we were only able to accumulate 7 points. And we said, well, that right there is the last straw. If you're this front office, based on what you've seen the first 11 or 12 weeks of the season, you have to go get a quarterback, whether from the draft or go get a veteran quarterback from free agency. But you have to improve that room, and you have to bring in a guy that is going to push Bryce Young and compete for that starting job next year, right? Then a lot of people got gassed up against during the Atlanta game because he broke the franchise record and did all of this stuff, and it was also good. And Panther Nation was able to rejoice, myself included, right? But our challenge to Bryce Young on Tuesday's episode last week for our fully produced pod was Bryce Young, do it consistently. Show this organization, show this fan base, show your coaching staff that you can do it consistently. And unfortunately, he had the opportunity to do that against a very, very pedestrian, bottom of the barrel defense, and we weren't able to move the football. Now, again, I say all of that, but I also say Dave Canales, a lot of the shit that we experienced on Monday night was on you too. And I've made the same argument. I've made the same point for I don't know how long, that the biggest problem that Dave Canales faces is the fact that he at times is underprepared, and his team, because he's unprepared, then is unprepared as well. And I had a problem with it all the way back in preseason, and everybody was trying to tell us to chill. And I said, no, something about this just doesn't feel right. So from the very beginning of the season, there has been this overwhelming feeling of a lack of preparation and a lack of a sense of urgency. And time again, throughout the 12 weeks of this NFL season, it's reared its ugly head. And that's what we got on Monday night, completely unprepared from Dave Canales. I mean, the fact that you have 2 1,000-yard rushers in your running back room, and we run the football 9 total times against a bottom 5 rushing defense. It's a malpractice. It makes absolutely no sense. It was extremely confusing. You couple that with the fact that Dave Newton, he hasn't done much good since he's been on the Charlotte beat. But one of the things that he has done good was just last week asking Rico Dowdle, hey, have the Carolina Panthers discussed a possible contract extension with you at all this season? And the answer was simply no. So you couple that with the fact that you have a 1,000-yard rusher, one of the top running backs statistically in the NFL, and you only give him 6 touches against a 27th, 28th ranked per rush attempt defense. Unprepared and malpractice. I will tell y'all, just in full transparency, Today is probably the first day where I've been fully clear-minded and good, because Tuesday was very tough for me. Yesterday was very tough for me. It was. It was. We said on our game preview Saturday night the Carolina Panthers had everything in front of them, and this was a prime example for you to display that in front of the nation on prime time, and they showed their inability to get the job done. And I put none of this responsibility at all on the defense. So that will be the theme of the podcast for me tonight. Nobody in the chat, Terrence, nobody can say anything about the defense this week at all, because the story remains the same. The defense plays well enough to keep you in the ball game, and you have the inability as an offense that has the last 2 off seasons invested an ungodly amount of capital into them, and you have the inability to get the job done. That's been the theme of this story of this season, and it continues to rear its ugly head time and time again, yet again. Dave Canales, this loss, I would say 65, actually maybe even 75% of this loss is on Dave Canales, because we refuse to do what works, because we want to be stubborn, and we want to show people that our way works, and we want to prove that point. When sometimes the only thing you have to do is what the smartest thing to do is in front of you. And Monday night, that was to run the football, and to only run the football again 9 total times, 6 from Rico Dowdle, 3 from Chuba Hubbard. That to me is a malpractice, and it's almost, if the season hadn't turned around, right? If the season hadn't turned around this year, as far as like, oh, we won 5 ball games last year, we won 6 this year, we won 2 years ago. Like, if we weren't showing incremental growth, running the ball on national television on Monday Night Football against a bottom 5 rushing defense is almost a fireable offense. But the only reason why I'm not calling for his job is because I have seen growth. So that's personally where I'm at. Again, I don't think I'm going to blank out or tweak out today, because Thanksgiving is tomorrow. It's a big nigga's favorite holiday. So I'm going to just, I'm just going to relax and chill. But just know my mood probably isn't the best. It probably isn't. But that's all I got to open up. I know that was kind of long-winded, but I'm going to open the floor to Terrence. You got it, brother?
Way too long. Very simple. I blame this game on Dave Canales and Bryce Young. And I was saying, like, for the last couple of weeks, this team has shown the inability to be consistent. We see how they respond after a win, after a big win, time and time again. And they did the same thing on Monday night. When you had the opportunity to put the whole world on notice, you're the only game, nationally televised football game playing that night. So you had the opportunity to put the whole world on notice. A team that's not really that much better than you, they're middle of the pack. And then the defense gets you 3 turnovers and you only score 3 points off of that. They literally turned them over 3 times and we scored 3 points off of that. That in itself is embarrassing. I'm still trying to figure out what Bryce Young seen on that throw at the goal line. And that's when I challenged Dave Canales, because I don't know why we don't run the ball there. Why we don't run the ball, you have 4 downs to run the ball. Why you don't run the ball there from the 2-yard line? Nonetheless, you call the play. The tight end was open to start with, but Bryce continues to roll out. So when he continues to roll out, you continue to shorten the field. So it's easier for the defenders to play defense on that. And the guy was just able to drop back and pick the ball. Outside of that, you have a wide open lane to run the ball for a touchdown. Or if you don't want to do that, how about just throw it away? Throw it out of bounds. But no, we don't do that. We give them the ball back after the defense just got a turnover. And then Dave Canales to only run the ball 9 times when your running backs are averaging 6 yards a carry during that game. And you weren't down no more than about 10 the whole game. So it's not like it was a point where you had to go away from the run game, and just completely got away from what the team has found success on throughout the season. And that's running the football. Outside of the games where Bryce threw for all of those yards in the Atlanta game, most of the wins has came from running the football. And the way you set up the pass to make the pass more effective, you have to run the football. Running the football 9 times just simply doesn't get it done. And so that's a malpractice on Dave Canales. Defense played well, so there's not much that I can really say about them. But other than that, it was just a bad game for Bryce Young, a bad game for the coaching staff. And, it it makes perfect sense because this team doesn't have the ability to respond when they need to. So that's all I have to say on that.
And transparently, you can look at coaching. I think, and this is a conversation that I don't know if you're wanting to have, and I don't know how the chat feels about it, but I think the way we viewed and thought this team could potentially come in with the lights being a little too bright, for me personally, I thought Dave Canales showed that more than the team did. The lights were too bright Monday night for Dave Canales, in my opinion. He got scared off by the Shanahan and Salah combination. EJ did his job. EJ walked right in Shanahan's crib and said, nigga, you not going to be able to do XYZ. And outside of that first drive, if we keep it in the stack, outside of that first drive, this defense looked different, bro. With backup linebackers. This defense did look different. With backup linebackers not only there, then you had Jaycee Horn exit the game with the concussion. You had Claude Sherrills exit the game with the concussion. Corey Thornton, who was announced today, out for the year. I mean, you know, we can't catch a break. But you had Corey Thornton then come in for Jaycee Horn. Then he exited the game with an injury. And the defense still held their own. So it's just very frustrating, bro. It's very, very frustrating. And we brought Dave Canales in this building to be an offensive guru and to be a quarterback whisperer and to fix Bryce Young. And ultimately, if we're just being honest and just having an honest family conversation, he has come up short. He has. And that is, listen, we're playing 500 football. That's great. We won a couple of big games. We had a 3-game win streak. All of that shit is phenomenal, bro. But when it gets down to the nitty gritty, Dave Canales has not done his job. He hasn't. And then, you know, we have niggas that want to make AI generated lists about all of these platforms and all of the podcasts and content creators that have said XYZ about Dave Canales. But then when he has the ability to show that he really is that and that he is progressing as a head coach, he can do it on a big stage against two phenomenal coaches and Shanahan and Salah, and he didn't. He didn't. So, you know, people want to get in their feelings. That's number one. Number two, I'm sick and tired of niggas on X twerking for Bryce Young. Sick and tired of niggas twerking for Bryce Young. Every single week of my life, anytime Bryce Young has an average game or a game in which he has let me make sure I get this number correct for the chat, a 60.8 quarterback rating, I still have to go on X and see niggas twerking for him. But then if anybody says anything bad about Bryce Young or anything critical or anything like that, y'all hate Bryce Young. I hope he goes elsewhere and can thrive. And I hope, well, bro, I'm just telling you what we see on the film and what the fact of the matter is. Was it a stupid ass play call off of a turnover where you started to drive on the 20-yard line, right? Was it a stupid ass play call for you to get the football all the way down to the 1-yard line and to run a naked bootleg or a waggle action or whatever you want to classify it as? Absolutely. It 1000% was. But as a third-year quarterback, there is simply no way that we should still be making the same mistakes that we was making as a rookie. There's just simply no way.
Well, I'm convinced that there's not even a quarterback on the college level that would have made that kind of decision because it was so horrid. Like,
and
it's
I hate to say it.
What did you see? Like, literally, what did you see?
Yeah. And I mean, I guess like people will make the argument that, the cornerback did this and that. They made a good or he made a good play. He baited them into doing whatever. But bro, this is something else that we talked about on FPFO. And Terrence has been the most vocal about this. But why not just run the ball in?
Yeah.
Why is Bryce Young so scared to use his legs?
And bro, the cornerback didn't do anything special. That's an easy play to make on the defense. Like when you run a waggle or a play action where you're rolling out to the right side of the field, you're cutting the whole half of the other side of the field off. So the defense only has to play to one side of the field at that point. And there's only a couple of receivers in that play that are open on that action, or that are even thought of to get the ball. So it really wasn't a hard play for the cornerback to make because I got to keep my eyes on Bryce Young while knowing that there's a receiver right behind me. There's only so much end zone. And so much field left. But the more Bryce continues to roll out, the more field he continues to cut off. So that makes his throwing window even that much smaller.
Yeah.
So it's not really a hard play to make by a defensive back. It was just a terrible read by Bryce Young. Because
I
even
agree.
if you did decide to throw that ball, which he did, you can throw it out the back of the end zone.
Yep. That's what I was going to say too. Even if you don't want to run it and you don't want to put your body on the line and take that hit, throw the bitch in row 15A. Throw it in row 15A. You know, so like I said, I'm not going to tweak out today because this is a time for holidays and giving thanks. So I'm just going to be happy and thankful that the Panthers are 6-6. But just know when we look back at this season, and I said this last week, I said it on the game preview, I said it on the game review against Atlanta. When we look back on this season for the Carolina Panthers, the only thing that we'll remember are the amount of missed opportunities that this team has had. Go back and look at Arizona. Go back and look at New Orleans, and no better, for lack of better terms, representation of that statement than what happened on Monday night. A missed opportunity, like Terrence said. To me, this San Francisco 49ers team is not that. They're not that. That's why I was so confident. That's why I came in here and said, yes, we can win this game by 2 possessions, and I believe that we will. And honestly, you should have. You should have. The Carolina Panthers should have been able to take the San Francisco's 49ers heart half number 1 when Brock Purdy was like 3 of whatever the fuck and had 3 interceptions. There's no way on God's green earth that you force 3 interceptions, 2 of those in plus territory, and that only results in 3 points. At
Yeah.
that point, at
To me,
halftime, for
that's a
me,
fireable offense.
yeah, no
Personally.
one, it 1000% is.
Because
If we're just
that's
having an honest
embarrassing.
conversation, yep, it 1000% is, bro. It really is. And today we just have to have these uncomfortable conversations, right?
Especially when you're in the position that your team is in. You win this game, you're first in the division.
Yep.
And then out of the stretch of games that you have coming up, like we said a couple weeks ago, like you have to beat one of these teams. You have the 49ers, you have the Bucks, you have the Seahawks, and you have the Rams.
You
Like,
had the Saints. You had
yes.
the Saints. Because when we had that conversation, the Saints were on deck.
Yeah.
And everybody was counting that as a W. And so maybe that was our fault as fans, but everybody was counting that as a W.
Yeah.
So we knew.
I agree. Like most people was counting that as a W, which that was a valid point. But even like after that, it was like you had to win one of these games to actually like put yourself in a position to solidify yourself as a playoff team. And this is the perfect opportunity for you to win that game when your defense gives you 3 turnovers and you do nothing with it. So to me, that's a fireable offense. Given the state that your team is in, given the position that they're in, that's a fireable offense.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Because
don't want to, my apologies. Go ahead. Finish up.
I was just gonna say because now you have all of these players who are injured. You have Jaycee Horn who was out, Corey Thornton who was out, Claudius Sherless who was out. Still don't know if Trevin or Roseboom is going to be back. Like you have all these
Well, he
guys that
said,
are out.
not to cut you off, but Dave said that Wallace is trending in the right direction to play on Sunday. But go ahead.
Got you. But even with all of these players that are now injured, now you have to go and see the Rams. Now you have to go and see the Rams. To me, they're the best team in the NFL. Now you have to go see them.
I
And
agree.
so that makes stuff it makes it a lot more difficult.
Yeah, 1000%. Yeah, it's just a very tough, very, very tough situation. And before we go into stats and everything like that, I want to know how what you think about this. I want to know what you think about this because this is a theory that has been floating around Panthers Nation a tad bit, and I want to know how you feel about it because for me personally, I damn near believe it. I damn near believe what I'm about to tell you, and I'm going to give you the additional context. I just touched on during the intro. I touched on Dave Newton asking Rico Dowdle last week in the locker room about the Carolina Panthers having contract negotiations or talks with Rico Dowdle, or have they initiated those conversations at all? His answer was no. Right. Then we see against Atlanta, minimal touches for Rico Dowdle, and then this week it's even worse. The theory is currently
I feel
that
like I know where you about to go.
Dave
But go ahead.
Canales and his coaching staff has been instructed by whoever it may be to take a little off of Rico's plate to make the contract or whatever the case may be a little more digestible for the team in the front office. How do you feel about that? Because for me, that almost makes me want to rage out. Honest, that makes me want to revert back to 2 or 3 years ago, JJ, when I hear shit like that, and then I just start thinking about it. Like, oh, that actually doesn't make any sense at all that you ran the football 6 times on Monday Night Football against a bottom five rushing defense. It doesn't. So are you just a puppet? Are you just a pawn? That makes me start challenging shit, right? And then so you're telling me that because we're so future looking, for lack of better terms, again, you're telling me that now is the time to start sacrificing wins because you want to get a fucking discount on a running back who maybe not even won't even sign with you, even if his stats do suffer. So now we're sacrificing wins, and that again to me would be a malpractice, and that makes me once again want to raise the fuck out. So how do you feel about it? Because
And see,
again, I'm staying calm.
and that would be one of the reasons why I kind of like I can see if someone was trying to make that point, like it doesn't look good, like when you put it in those terms. But when you also take into account what position this team was in and actually being able to fight for a playoff spot, I don't think that a front office will really do that because you're going to gain more from actually making the playoffs. And, anything can happen when a team gets in the playoffs. I think you're going to get a lot more from that aspect than trying to get a cheap deal on a running back, especially a guy, one, who may not sign. And then, two, like, even though if we're sabotaging his touches to make his contract more digestible, teams didn't forget about what he did those first couple of weeks. And you can easily go look at the stats and see, like, okay, he didn't do as much after that because he wasn't getting the touches. That doesn't mean that he's not the running back that we've seen in the first couple of weeks when he first got those starts. So that's why I think that it doesn't make sense. Like I can see why someone would be thinking that way just because the whole situation looks weird. But I find it hard to believe as far as a owner like Dave Tepper, who is so money hungry and cares about like the publicity and how his team looks. I find it hard to believe that he will want to sacrifice wins and a potential spot in the playoffs to get a better contract on a running back.
Yeah, and I do see the chat because y'all are making valid points. It doesn't make any sense to go out and pay Rico Dowd or whatever they would, whatever the market rate on him will be during the offseason because you did just sign Chuba Hubbard last year. I understand that. I understand that you have Jonathan Brooks coming back. I understand that you drafted Trevor Etienne. But let me just make this point. We don't know what Jonathan Brooks is going to be when he comes back. Chuba Hubbard, he's been on limited reps since his job got snatched. He's been on limited reps. Has he looked more like himself? 1,000%. But before he was 100%, and we go back and look at the 2 games that he played in which he was coming back off an injury, he didn't look like himself at all either. So the Carolina Panthers could easily be trying to look at options to potentially move Chuba Hubbard in that regard, right? Take his contract off the books and then give Rico whatever Rico is worth at that time. So I understand what y'all are saying. We don't necessarily need another running back moving forward, but also in that same breath, like we don't know if Chuba has the ability to regain his starting job and to be the same productive back that he was the past year and a half, 2 years. We just don't. We don't know what Jonathan Brooks after 2 ACL surgeries is going to look like when he comes back in July. We just simply don't. We just simply don't. So, I mean, I understand where you're coming from for sure. And transparently, you would hope that that isn't the ideology and the logic behind why we're seeing the game plan being executed the way it is. But it just gave me cause for pause. And when that happened, I just felt just heat begin to run through my bloodstream all the way up to my head.
Yeah,
And I don't
like
know, maybe that's just me living an unhealthy lifestyle, but that's just what began to happen when I
probably.
started thinking about the ideology.
Probably the latter. But I mean, like, because at least I've been saying from the start that Rico went on this run that it was going to be a conversation that they would have to have in the off season. And by them not talking to him about contracts, like I feel like that they were tabling that until the off season, which I kind of expected them to do. So that's another reason why I don't believe that that's necessarily the case.
But you can't. That's the thing. You can't table that conversation until the off season. When you got a nigga toting that shit the way he is, that conversation can't. He damn near deserved a contract 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, you should not have let Rico Dowdle that week come into your building and leave for 5 consecutive days without having at the very least a conversation.
Yeah,
at the very least having a conversation.
Okay, I can see
it's malpractice shit like that gets us behind the 8 ball.
I can see
to push
them
off contract talks when at that point, why would I resign with y'all? The emotion is out of it. Now I done got the opportunity to test the market. It's better teams contacting me, niggas that's going to be consistently competing for Super Bowls. Why the fuck would I come back to y'all?
Well, cool. Maybe have the contract talks, but I don't know if I would necessarily jump the gun and signing you right now. Like, we're focused on winning football games. Like, obviously you're the reason that we're doing that, but this is our main focus right now. Like, we're in the position to like fight for a playoff spot. So I'm not gonna really worry myself with having a contract talk with you, unfortunately.
No, that to me is gonna get you clipped. And unfortunately, when you couple the interview that we saw, actually let me pull it up. Because this one, I know the other night I tried to pull something up and I couldn't. But this one, I know for a fact. I know exactly where it is.
I don't even know, honestly, if it's Rico, if he's really gonna want to have that talk. Like, he's gonna want to have a talk, but I don't think that he would even jump the gun and sign it with us anyway. Because as much as we in this organization has seen the work that I'm putting in, 31 other teams have. So, like, to me, I'm gonna go test that market regardless.
Yeah, but it's not about getting him signed. It's about you haven't even had the conversation. It's not about you're not gonna, if Rico Dowdle and his representation is smart, you're not gonna be able to sign him now anyway.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Like you just said, like the chat is saying, he's gonna test the market and he's gonna see what he's worth. But the fact that those conversations haven't even been initiated, that is malpractice. That is malpractice. 1,000%. Because you're not even putting a bug in his ear. You're not even really giving yourself a fighting shot. And then when I see stuff like this come out, right? I'll just play the video for y'all and y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. Let me see if I can get it pulled up. I don't understand why, like, it just be seeming like some of her videos be disappear. Oh no, here we go. Some of the body language in this, the tonality in this, there's a lot of shit in this that just tells me that Rico is that it's over with. But I'll let y'all be the judge.
You know, you can have a game like you guys did last week, and then this week struggle offensively.
Just inconsistent. Been the case the whole year. Just got to find a way to keep going up, not like this.
What is the solutions to that? I mean, just from your perspective.
I don't really have an answer right now.
I asked Dave about you only having 6 carries in the game. You got a top 10 rushing offense. Was that by design or?
No idea. They're just, the coaches make their decisions and call the game plan, and we just go with it as players. So.
How do you build on this? You got another tough game.
You just got to stay positive, get to the next game, try and go 1-0 the next week.
So the tonality, what he was saying, the way he was holding the body language, everything right there, just damn near let me know that it's over with. It's over with. That's what I gathered from that shit. And y'all can take and say, oh, he was just frustrated from the loss or whatever the case may be. No, in the back of his mind, The whole time Vashti and the rest of the beat are asking him questions, he's thinking Dave Canales is dumb as fuck. That's really what he wants to say. How am I one of the hottest running backs in the NFL and I only get 6 touches in the game? That's really what he wants to say. And then he goes out and tweets the little emoji, right, that Dave Newton asked him about again today. And then Dave Newton, of course, goes and asks Dave Canales about it. He claims that he had no idea about it or whatever the case may be. But
What
yeah,
was the
unfortunately,
emoji?
this is the situation that we're in.
What was the emoji?
Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see if I can pull it up. He might have deleted the tweet at this point. Oh, no, he didn't. This was the emoji. And this was put out the day after the game. So, yeah.
Well,
the chat was letting you know. Chat was letting you know. Chat lit you up with him.
Well, also what I'm just reading now on Panthers Insider, Rico Dowdle says Dave Canales addressed the team and took ownership of the play calling / lack of runs Monday. Rico's response: "That's a great coach. A lot of coaches won't take that ownership." And
Yeah,
Rico
but at
said
some
he
point or another,
posted.
that shit just gets old, bro.
Rico said he posted that emoji out of frustration. He felt like they could have had run success against the 49ers because they weren't stacking the box, which pisses me off because the first thing when I listened to Dave Canales' press conference, he's talking about they were stacking the box, which just simply wasn't true.
That was a fucking lie.
Yeah.
That was a fucking lie.
He just didn't have a
Also
true
covered his
answer
ass.
of why he didn't run the ball.
Right. Exactly. And Rico gave that answer. I believe that was today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
That was
it
today
was.
when they got back to practice. And so at this point, of course, like I'm sure Canales has probably had conversations with him, the PR team, everybody done talked to him and been like, yo, what the fuck is this about? Even though Canales claimed he had no idea about it. He had no idea. Out of the loop type shit, you know. But at some point or another, and I know what you're saying, and I get that, but at some point or another, that shit, you taking responsibility becomes old when you don't start changing shit. Because I don't know if you saw the victory locker room video that the Panthers put out last week, but Dave Canales even said, hey, I tried to fuck it off for us. More or less, you know, that's
Yeah.
JJ translation.
Yeah, no,
He said, I tried to fuck it off. I did. And then you actually fuck it up against San Francisco. And you can't just go in and say, oh, I fucked it off for us, but we got the job done because we got blasted.
Yeah, I mean,
that shit becomes old as a player. It
yeah.
does.
What I've always been told, the greatest apology is change behavior. And
1000%.
that hasn't been something that's been consistent with Dave Canales. Like he apologizes and says this and that, but even after that game, he still didn't, you know. What is bro talking about?
Yeah, he be thinking he pretty, bro. But yeah. In other news, I mean, I guess we might as well just keep going through the news. What do we have? What time did we say? 9:30? Or 9 is what we said, right?
9, I think.
9. Okay, cool. So we have about 40 minutes. In other news, the Carolina Panthers, with all the injuries, with Corey Thornton going on IR, we did sign Rochelle. I think it's his first name. Don't know his last name. Off of the Dallas Cowboys practice squad. And also that was today. And then yesterday we actually went out and signed Isaiah Simmons. That is a guy that on FPFO we've talked about, I want to say over the past 2 off seasons, about the Carolina Panthers potentially bringing in and contributing to their pass rush. How do you feel about that signing?
I love the hold on. What the yeah, I love the Isaiah Simmons signing. But I wish we would have did it a lot earlier because I was very high on him coming out of Clemson. Because I felt like he was a do-it-all player. And as you've seen when he got in the NFL, he was getting put at safety, linebacker, he was getting put at edge. So he really was like a Swiss Army knife. So I wanted us to have this signing like 2 years ago. But I mean, I don't really know what the guy is now. because he never really lived up to the potential that he had coming out of Clemson. But sometimes guys just need to change the scenery. So I don't really know what he is now, but I feel like all he can do is help us, especially with the linebackers that went down this past week. And then they're saying Trevin is trending upwards, Christian Roseboom, but you never know. As you can see, you can never have too many. So I'm excited with the signing because I think that you can legitimately put him everywhere because of his speed and, just because of like the physical traits and things that he has. Like he can pretty much play everywhere. So I was excited about it personally.
Fair enough. And I'll be transparent. For any Panthers fans that may have reservations about this move, he can't be no worse than what the fuck we getting from DJ Wanham. If we gonna pay a nigga just to get cardio and not make fucking plays in the pass game, not make plays in the run support, I mean, you might as well go get another one. Go give him a couple million. Shit, because we got niggas on the roster already just still only getting cardio, like DJ Wanham, with all due respect, of course. So why not? Why not? And at this point, I feel as though the Carolina Panthers know that they can afford to lose maybe one game for the rest of the year. And even that, to me, when you look at the Buccaneers schedule, even that to me is very, very risky. Because to make the playoffs, the Carolina Panthers have to win the division. There's no more wild card talks. You fucked that off on Monday night.
Yeah.
You fucked that off on Monday night. So, you're going to get blasted against the Rams. We can all just go ahead and have that conversation now. This isn't optimistic JJ. Like, this isn't JJ. Oh, if you ain't, it's not even none of that shit this week. I'm telling y'all right now. Because this team has the inability to rise up for big games. They do. And that starts at the top with Dave Canales. So, yes, Sean McVay is going to walk into the 4 with the hottest team in the NFL, with the best team in the NFL, and beat the dog shit out of Carolina on Sunday. Then you'll have your bye, and then at that point, you can no longer lose another game. You must win 4 to get in. You have Seattle, you have Tampa, and you have a bye, and then you have Tampa again.
Still got to play the Saints again in New Orleans.
That's right. That's true. But so, yes, so that would be 4 because I think I only named 3 games right now, right? So you have to, you have to win every single one of those ball games. So that is the position that we're in when we come out on primetime football unprepared and running the football 9 times total with 2 1,000-yard backs. And then, what you do and what you have to show for that on Wednesday afternoon is an apology to your team for fucking cocking off. So, Blasito, let me see. I seen your Blasito made a good point. He made a compelling point. I'll say it like that. He said at this point it's more believable that Dave just wanted to pass to show that Bryce ain't it and show Tepper he wants to pick his own quarterback. I mean, I guess, but I don't know which one is nastier. If Tepper made the call and said, "Hey, make his workload and Rico Dowdle more bearable for us during contract time," or for Dave Canales trying to prove a point to Dave Tepper and trying to get Bryce Young moved. I don't know which one is nastier. I despise both logics.
I mean,
I despise both of them.
Either way, Dave Tepper can easily just look at over the string of games that Bryce has had over his career. Like, the shit is inconsistent regardless. Like, it's inconsistent. You're not going to pay a guy like that. So I really don't think Dave Canales really needed to show anything. Just turn on the film. You'll see what you need to see. He's inconsistent. Like, there's games where he plays well, where he manages the game really well, and then there's games like this where he completely shits the bed. So Dave Canales didn't need to prove anything to show that, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know.
I agree. Round of applause. Shout out our guy Will Robinson on the super chat. Will said, "Play call and fuck this off." No, 1,000%.
Yes.
Undebatably.
And I don't know if Dave Canales is in a position to be trying to prove any points, trying to show Dave Tepper anything. Because based on what I'm seeing, your inability to be consistent with the play calls and have a more balanced approach coming into these games, you're not really looking like a long-term head coach to me. And I brought you in because you were supposed to be a quarterback whisperer. You were the one responsible for reviving Geno Smith's career, reviving Baker Mayfield's career, so they say. So that's the reason that I brought you in. So don't come and show me or try to show me that, oh, this quarterback is unfixable. No, nigga, you do what I brought you in to do. Because if he's unfixable and you're unable to fix him and I paid you money to do so, then at that point I want both of y'all gone. That's just me.
Yeah, I'd agree. But I will say, I'm not sure if you saw the Acho clip. I believe it was Acho that was having the conversation. Maybe it may have been a different analyst, but they made the point, and said, well, how many fucking head coaches is Bryce Young gonna go through before the conversation is had or the question is asked, are you the problem? and frankly, damn it, I'm not mad at that logic, because Bryce Young might be the problem. And honestly, I'm just pissed that I walked my stance back and I wasn't as vocal as I had been in the past.
Oh
But
my
then
God.
again, the last 10 games, they looked bearable last year. And so it was kind of hard, right? But Bryce Young, I mean, listen, bro, I'm damn near like tired of having this conversation, honestly, right? But I just don't know if he has it. I don't know if he has it, bro. I don't know if he has it. I don't. Another point, and we're gonna try and speed up a little bit and go get through a lot of this shit. And I honestly wish we were on set today. I'll be genuinely honest with y'all. I really wish we were on set today, because I have a lot of shit that I need to get off my chest and go through. And I believe that in this form, it won't be able to happen. But I'm just going to tell y'all this right now. FPFO and anything associated with FPFO is officially Chandler Zavala hate account. The most worthless, and listen to me. Let me go full so nothing is misconstrued. I say this not from a personal level, or not on a personal level, not attacking him as a person, but strictly as a football player. The most worthless motherfucker that has ever put on a Carolina Panthers uniform outside of DJ Johnson. That's how I feel about Chandler Zavala. Just worthless. Just fucking worthless. Pure dog shit. Ass. That's how I feel about Chandler Zavala.
It can't be that bad, bro.
Listen to me, bro. No, it can be. The faster the Carolina Panthers cut ties with Chandler Zavala, the better this fucking organization will be. That's how I feel about that nigga. And to be quite frank, Yak made a point to me the other day that he just damn near don't even know if he's just in the league to make a check, and all of these injuries are just fucking bullshit. And to be quite frank, he might be onto something, because I ain't never in my life seen a nigga that every single time they play in a professional football game, they end up leaving a bitch hurt. Every single time. And that's another fuck up from Dave Canales, because there was no way in hell that after you saw what you saw from Curran when he started at guard, that Zavala should have been able to come back in from injury and get his job back. That's another mistake from Dave Canales. And then I'll go back to, oh, you made the wrong mistake when we picked Austin Corbett over K. Mays. I know we didn't forget about that. Right? So, yeah, it's really nasty. It's really nasty over here right now, bro. I'm just going to keep it a stack. And I wanted to go ahead and put that on record on wax, that the faster Zavala is gone, the better this organization will be. And we told y'all the same thing about DJ Johnson. And JJ is just such a
I was about to say,
JJ is such a great, phenomenal person, right? That when the start of the season rolls around, I try and give everybody a clean slate. But we knew what DJ Johnson was his whole time as a Carolina Panther. Worthless. Not an NFL talent. Not even a UFL talent. He can't even get a UFL deal. So he can't. He can't. Chandler Zavala is the same level as that nigga. Enterprise, fidelity accounts, sales, something of the sort. That is the realm that these niggas should be competing in from a professional standpoint. Not on the gridiron. Not on the gridiron. Worthless. Again, not as a human being, because I'm sure he's a great guy. As a player, he's ass. He's horrible. He's horrible.
What just happened?
I had a cough, so I had to mute and turn my shit off.
Thank you.
I saw we had a super chat and I missed it. My apologies. I that shit got me sweating. Cause that was
Shout out
something
Wood.
else. So, I mean, just terrible, bro. Just terrible. Round of applause from Will. Will said, I hate conspiracy BS. Coach had bad play calling in the point. Will, I wish that things in this world were that black and white. I wish that things in this world were that black and white, brother. Honestly. I also don't like the fact that niggas are just throwing in the towel. Because I see a lot of people saying that, oh, the season is over, whatever. I'm not going that far. The season ain't over till the season is over. We've just made it a lot more difficult for ourselves. That's how I feel. I don't know how
Well,
feels. That's how
I mean, if you lose this game Sunday,
it still ain't over. You can still win out and go 10-7.
we'll see
You
about
can.
that. We'll see
You
about
can.
that. Team is too inconsistent. They're way too inconsistent. I find it hard to believe that they're going to be able to rattle off 10 wins.
Fair enough.
But that's just me.
Will said Ian Thomas is the title leader. Touche.
Well, that's JJ's boy.
Touche. Touche. No, that's not the only reason why they drafted him. They also drafted him because Scott Fitterer is fucking incompetent. And he called on the phone during draft night on his knees, begging and pleading to be picked. And it just tugged on Scott Fitterer's heartstrings. So he shouldn't even oh my God, that's even deeper, darker. So off rip, that nigga wasn't even gonna get drafted if we just keep it at 1,000. He had a call on his damn it knees. But that's what the Carolina Panthers have been the last decade and a half. So, or that's a stretch. I'm sorry, the last decade. Just pathetic, bro. Excuse me. Darius said it doesn't take 3 years to know if your quarterback has it. I watched Sanders play 1.5 games and feel more confident in that he has it as a quarterback. Darius, watch your head. You know how you know how Panthers fans get. You know how the F-150 side of things go. Bryce fits that box a little bit better for them. You know? You know what I'm saying? Bryce fits that box a little bit better for them. They're a little bit more comfortable with that. With you know, you know. So, but I will never say it. But that's a fair point. I won't say it's valid, invalid, or whatever. I will say it's a fair point. If you feel that way objectively, that is a fair point. Because he didn't look half bad the other day. And that was with them still trying to sabotage the nigga. But we moved. Touche. Yeah, and I just hate that. I just hate when you get quiet, bro, and you just let me die on them type hills, nigga. But then again, I don't need you. I don't need you to support shit. What the fuck do I need? It's okay.
What do you want me to say to that?
Nothing.
I have nothing to say to that.
It's okay. Let's go look at the stats.
Oh God.
Here we go. Oh, and sorry, I gassed Bryce Young's rating up earlier. I was looking at this rating and not the actual QBR. 13.5.
Now, I will say that second pick, the officiating was god awful this game too. Like
my God.
Not saying that that's the reason that we lost, but we were playing the 49ers plus the officials. Like they missed so many calls, and I think I seen the stat that the 49ers had 0 penalties the first 38 minutes of the game.
Terrible. And do you know how many they ended the game with?
How
Two.
many? Yeah,
Two.
see that just doesn't happen, especially when you can call a holding damn near every play. And so it was just nasty. And that
Especially on
second
the first drive, specifically on the first drive, because
yeah,
we were on stream and there was about 2 or 3 plays where me and Terrence are begging for a flag. Derek Brown scoring, you pick one.
and it was
And then the
crazy
second play from scrimmage for the Carolina Panthers, we get called with a holding on Ikem Ekwonu.
when
So already I knew it was gonna be some bullshit.
When Trent Williams damn near he did worse the drive before. So I didn't understand that. And the reason that I brung up the penalties is because that second interception, like
Oh
that
my
was
God.
just like they were
Oh my
holding the
God.
fuck out of T-Mac. And you know,
And I agree with that. I agree with that, Terrence, wholeheartedly. But I will say that you still can't even make that throw because the safety was still in position. And it may have been a collision at the point of the ball. But you still can't. I still stand by what I said wholeheartedly. That interception from Bryce Young was the same interception that me and you watched in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Bryce Young's rookie debut. That's the same exact one that he threw twice. The
yeah.
same exact one.
I mean, I just feel like in that situation, he threw the ball to where the receiver was supposed to be. And I just think if he didn't get held, like I can't confidently say that would have been a catch. One, just based off the fact that T-Mac has struggled with his drops. Two, based off the fact that he would have got killed either way. I just don't think that it would have been an interception. Like it was in double
That's
coverage.
fair.
I think bro was really beat. And T-Mac is running with his arms so wide. That's why you have to keep your arms tight when you run. So he was running with his arms so wide that he's literally grabbing onto anything, and he just grabbed his arm. And you know, if someone grabs your arm while you're running or grabs any body part, that's going to slow you up by a split second. So I don't like it wasn't the best throw. And like I said, I don't think it personally would have been an interception if he didn't get grabbed, but I can't confidently say he would have completed it. So
Fair enough. This is what I put on X the day after, because this is how I felt. Nigga was literally jerking Nalo's arm off, and we can't get a call on that. But that's just a lack of respect that the NFL and the officiating have for this team. And it's been going on for years. So nothing new. Nothing new. I believe Panthers on Tap put this photo out initially. So shout out to them. But I mean, this is egregious, bro. Like, honestly. You know. What does it look like to y'all? Or maybe my mind is just in the gutter. So we'll just move on to the other stats. Because what do I know? Just terrible, bro. Just terrible. And unfortunately, my brain won't even allow me to blame the officiating for what we did Monday. Because I understand if you come out and you fight and you put a good product out on the field and you end up getting hold, or the game was officiated the way it was. But the fact that you came out and offensively, like my man just said, 3 picks resulting in 3 points, right? The fact that you came out and did that, I can't even say shit to the referees.
yeah,
because
you
didn't
can't.
even play well enough to give yourself a fighting shot.
Yeah, you can't really blame the officials on that. That's just embarrassing. That's a coaching thing.
Yep. And then, I mean, the atrocity this is.
Oh my god.
I mean, listen to me. 5.3 yards a carry. You take Bryce Young away, and I believe that this is like 5.7, 5.8 yards per carry from your 2 running backs. Excuse me. 9 times we run the football. 6 for 38 for Rico Dowdle. 6 for 38. 6.3 yards a carry for Chuba Hubbard. 3 attempts, 16 yards, 5.3 yards a carry. And we run the ball 9 times total. This is also something else disgusting. leading receiver with all the weapons that you've gone out and gotten for Bryce Young, Rico Dowdle, 4 for 36. I mean,
both the running backs have more receptions than the receivers.
Yep. Both of them. Just terrible, bro. Another thing I want to say, and let me drop this down again. Let me remove it from the stage again. And let me come here. Another person that I'm done with, because to me, you cannot look at yourself like a competent organization and believe that even if this year is a stepping stone year, that you can move forward with some of these pieces. Another guy that JJ is just out on because of incompetency and a lack of sacrifice of self for the team, Ja'Tavion Sanders. I'm done with that nigga too. I'm done with the nigga Ja'Tavion Sanders too.
Yeah,
I'm done with him.
He ever since he got injured in that KC game, like he just hasn't been the same, honestly.
Just shot, bro. Just shot. Just terrible. Just terrible. I mean, that play, the swing pass out to Chuba Hubbard in the flat.
That was horrible. Like you get
atrocity.
benched. You get benched for that. Like honestly.
An atrocity. Just terrible. Pathetic. Piss poor effort. Piss poor effort, dog. Just terrible. Terrible. Makes me really want to go on the pod and say some shit. You know, but we've done a lot of maturation on this podcast. So I'm going to just say the PC version, JJ is fucking done with him. Because I don't think he has the ability to get the job done. I don't. And before we wrap up, actually, matter of fact, since we're here, let's just do this real quick. Because if we're just being honest, the Carolina Panthers need to assess what they're going to do at the tight end position. They do. And I already have the list already, damn it, up. Don't even worry about it. These are our options this offseason. These are our options. Figure it out. Figure it out. Somebody in the front office and the coaching staff figure it out. But Tommy and JT not going to cut it. And y'all know how I feel about Mitch. He's a great tight end too. That's what I've learned about him for the rest of this season. After I knew I said he was going to be tight end 1, but he still has a lot of development and growth to go as well. Go figure it out. He's a great tight end 2 right now. Not saying he can't be a tight end 1, but on this roster with the tight end room that you currently have constructed, he should be tight end 1. He damn sure should be, because I don't know what that play was from Ja'Tavion Sanders on the swing pass. And then when he gets the ball, he's just fucking falling down so soft, running backwards, going east to west. As a tight end, you go run through a nigga's face mask. That's what you do as a tight end. But not Ja'Tavion Sanders. So I'm done with that nigga too. If you're the Carolina Panthers, these are your options. And however y'all feel about Kyle Pitts, that's damn near the first one I would go after. And I don't care who got anything to say about the shit.
He's ass.
Okay.
He can't catch.
Okay. Well, damn it. It would fit perfect on the team. XL had 8 of them holes last year. Nalo got 7 in 12 games. Well, damn it, Kyle Pitts, you come drop some shit for us too.
No, bro.
Simple as that. I mean, shit, everybody else do it.
We don't need to add one more.
Okay. Really, really like Njoku too. I just think he'll be very expensive.
Yes.
Let me go back to the stats, man. That's why I said I wish we were on set today. I know we only have 15 minutes left. Atrocity. Both of your running backs have more receptions, like Terrence mentioned, than all of your receivers. An atrocity. Xavier Legette, please figure the fuck out what to do with your feet when you're close to the boundary.
I'm glad you mentioned it.
Please figure, Xavier Legette, please figure out what to do with your feet when you get close to the boundary. That's all I'm going to say. Defensively, you know, typical sliding on shit.
Well,
sliding.
I do have something.
Ball game,
I do have something to say about Trayvon Marriott. Dumbass play. dumbass play, stupid, inexcusable, and now you're suspended for a game. Rightfully so. You deserve to be. And honestly, he should have really did more than what he did at the end of the game. He should have really went in his shit for real.
Yeah, I'd agree. But I don't know what Jawan Jennings was out there saying to them folks or doing to him. But Mike Jackson had a very similar response. He just did it in the media.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He should have went across his head though, for sure.
Shout out 8 Ball. Shout out Mike. And shout out Trev. And shout out Nick. Also, by the way, I think your jersey got delivered today.
Oh, perfect.
So I got to go see about that.
Perfect.
But defensively as a unit, outside of that first drive, like I mentioned earlier, I believe that this unit played well enough to win this ball game. I do. Again, anytime you have 3 turnovers and those 3 turnovers come in the first half, you should be able to win that football game. You should. So at some point or another, you just have to have some empathy for Terrence's favorite coach of all time, Ejiro Evero. Because we can still all agree that there are glaring holes on this defense talent-wise, yet every single week we roll this unit out, they produce at a high level. Every week. Couple outliers. You go look at the New England game. You go look at the Buffalo game. But outside of that, every week they've kept you in the ball game. They've given you an opportunity to win every single week. We'll do top 5, bottom 5 PFF, and I'm just gonna read it off because I don't have the actual screenshot saved. So this should be fun. I mean, because I haven't even looked at this because I haven't even brought myself to be able to do so.
I've seen some
this
shit
is
on
my
there.
first time. I mean, I want to start off with offense bottom 5. Oh, what do you know? And the reason why I wanted to start off with offense bottom 5 because I damn near knew who was at the bottom. Chat, I'll give y'all 20 seconds to give me a guess on who y'all thought was bottom 5. All the way at the bottom, the worst PFF grade offensively. I'll give y'all 20 seconds. It makes so much sense. Matter of fact, Chandler Zavala with the 48. Chuba Hubbard with the 52.8. Cade Mays with a 53. Jimmy Horn with a 53.9. And Trevor Etienne with a 57.1.
I have different ones.
Which ones do you have? Maybe I'm reading the wrong ones.
Yeah, I have different ones. Let me just make sure. Yep, this is the right game. So
oh yes, this is the wrong game. This is the wrong game. I take back everything I just said. Let me ask you a question. Is Zavala at the bottom of that one as well?
No.
Oh, okay. Chat, I take it back. Hey, Chandler. Chandler, my bad, little bro. That's on me. I'll let my emotions get too far ahead of me. I don't know which ones you have. You obviously have the right ones.
Yeah.
You go off.
So bottom 5, we have Mitchell Evans all the way at the bottom with a 40. We have
tight end 2 at best.
Okay, bro. Okay, cool. Bryce Young right above him with a 40.3. Xavier Leggett, no surprise there, with a 49.5.
Oh my God.
Tedderroyd McMillan above him, 55.5. And then your favorite, Jatavion Sanders, right above him with a 57.7.
Ass.
Just
terrible. All 5 of them, terrible.
Yeah, that's just horrible. And then top 5, you have Taylor Moton, number 1, 78.8. Damian Lewis, number 2, 70.9. Jimmy Horn, number 3, 67.6. Austin Corbett, number 4, 67.1. And Jake Curhan, 66.9.
That's the bro.
Yeah.
Friend of the show.
Shout out Jake. Yeah, so pretty much your offensive line was, at the top. So I don't want to hear nothing about Bryce ain't have no time to throw. The holes wasn't there. Just a terrible fucking game from him and a terrible play calling by Dave Canales.
Yes, because I saw people in the chat earlier saying that the reason why we couldn't run the ball was offensive line play, and the reason today is not the day.
That's
Today
not
is
true.
not today. I'm telling you, today is not the day, dog. Go ahead.
Bottom 5 on defense. We have LeBron Ray at the bottom.
Another nigga.
44.0.
Can I just interject while you go through this? If you don't mind, bro, because I'm really past the point, like 12 weeks in. I'm tired of all of the cute shit. Another nigga that once you dump him, your roster will become even better because your floor elevates. Go ahead.
Ashawn Robinson, right above him, 44.7.
Another nigga. Actually, no, I ain't gonna do Ashawn. I ain't gonna do Ashawn like that. I ain't gonna do Ashawn like that. I ain't gonna do Ashawn like that.
Tershawn Wharton, above him, 44.7.
I will not take it back for him. He's been dog shit this year.
He had a good hustle play. Diving off the field,
wow.
trying.
Hey, chat, drop clapping emojis. Drop clapping emojis because a nigga that we went out and paid $23 million a year made one good hustle play against a mediocre, actually bottom half offensive line. Hey, shout out Turk Wharton, bro. Hey, Turk, shout out you, my nigga. You made one play Monday. Check that. Great job.
All right. Bam Martin Scott, 49.5. Chris Barnes, 50.5. So there you go. Bottom 5. Top 5. No surprise. Jaycee Horn at the top, 94.0.
8 ball.
Right under him, we have Princely at an 84.7. And then right below him, we have Mike Jackson, 79.2. Then below him, we have Travis Gibson, 76.5. And then Nick Scorton at number 5 with a 71.5.
There you go. Love to see the young guys in the top 5 of that unit, PFF wise. And of course, we give this preference every week. But I will say, excuse me, PFF is not the Bible, but love to see your young guys at the top 5 of that group. A group that played exceptionally well, in my opinion.
Yes, I would agree.
Everybody gassed up Christian McCaffrey. Let's go look at his stats real quick. And
146 yards from scrimmage.
Say it again.
I think he had like 140 some yards from scrimmage or something like that.
And that's liable to happen when you get 24 carries a game, right? The first, I want to say 7 or 8 plays, McCaffrey.
I wanted him to stretch him.
McCaffrey. Because that 104 was attached to a 3.7 yards per carry average. But what do I have to see and what do I have to deal with? Because we've been blessed with this offensive guru and Dave Canales, a nigga averaging 6.7 yards a carry, get 6 of them. So, shout out to bro. Shout out to Dave, man. Salute. Great job, Canales. You've shown growth, buddy. Hey, phenomenal job. Way to dick us off. Thank you. Shout out to Donald. Appreciate that. Let's do juice. I have a plus 516. I have the Dallas Cowboys covering 6.5 against the Kansas City Chiefs. This is all Thanksgiving games for me. Dallas Cowboys covering 6.5 against the Chiefs. Rashee Rice to have 60 plus yards receiving. George Pickens to have 4 more catches. Detroit Lions to cover minus 2.5 against Green Bay. And the Baltimore Ravens money line for the nightcap. That is a plus 516. Go lock it in. For Dylan, let me see. He has the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Titans on Sunday. He has the Carolina Panthers covered in 10.5. Throw the ticket away. What they do to us will damn near get them sent directly to hell. Won't even be able to check in at heaven's gates. That's what's gonna happen to us on Sunday. Atlanta Falcons money line and Niners money line against the Browns. That is a plus 506. Plus 506 from Dylan. 4-leg parlay. Jags, Panthers plus 10.5, Falcons money line, and Niners money line.
The Bills sold me last week, so shout out to them. I have a plus 543. I have the Cowboys covering plus 7.5. I have the Dolphins beating the Saints. I have the Niners beating the Browns. I have the Houston Texans plus 9.5 against the Indianapolis Colts, and I have Texas A&M money line against Texas. That's your sweat.
Texas A&M money line against Texas.
Yep, at
Yeah,
Texas.
that's not a sweat.
Marcel
It got it.
Yeah, but
Marcel
the way
and KC
A&M
got it.
started off against South Carolina was just damn embarrassing. And I just don't know if you start off against a team that's a little bit better than that with Arch on the other side. I just don't know,
Let's do something.
About
you
what?
Take your boy. You take your boy. Give me Marcel and KC. You take your boy.
No, bro, because I already have my juice. I already have my juice ticket on fucking A&M. So why would I go against that? Go put it on the books, nigga.
Huh?
I said go put it on the books.
What is the money line?
Like -1 something.
I might. That sounds like a great 2-leg builder.
No, I know you're scared of it. -124. -124, actually.
I'm not scared, nigga. I have A&M winning the Natty. Why in the fuck would I be scared of Arch Manning?
I mean, just go look at his last game. You'll see why.
Against who?
I don't remember.
Exactly. That's my point. That's exactly my point. Thank you so much. That's my point.
I don't remember.
That's what he does.
Do you remember who Texas A&M? Well, you do because I just said it.
Yeah. And I know who they played the week before that, and the week before that, and the week before that. I mean, that's just. I'm a KC fan, nigga. I'm a KC fan. Best receiver in the country. Hey, Carolina Panthers, if you want your offense to be turned up, go draft KC Concepcion. Go draft that and then put them beside Excel and Nala Boy. And then maybe Dave Canales can figure it out then. Or matter of fact, check that. Maybe Bryce Young can figure it out then. Yeah. All right. I know you got to go. Do you have anything to say in wrapping? I'm getting you out of here early. Wow, that is, I mean, I've just been doing such a great job with the time. I mean, we started at 7:30 sharp today. I got you out of here 2 minutes early. No. We started at 7:30 sharp. The live started at 7:30 sharp, and we started at 7:35 because it's a 5-minute countdown to let the congregation get in. So, wrap it. Damn it, wrap it.
It's gonna be a tough game on Sunday, I'll say. I feel like we're gonna probably get blasted, but still show up, support your team, watch us on TV, however you decide to cheer us on, and maybe we might shock them. Who knows? But we'll be in attendance. So if you're there, if you see us, say what's up.
For sure.
All right, little buddy.
If y'all want to contribute to, hey boy.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to the chat.
Make sure you send me a text in the morning that says that you're thankful for me, nigga.
All right, I'll see y'all. I'll get up with y'all.
Chat, how we feeling? Y'all done gave up on the season? Y'all done gave up on the season, chat? Yes or no? I was gonna try and pull the actually I still might do it. Y'all let me know if y'all giving up on the season, chat. Y'all let me know if y'all gave up on the season. Yes or no? I see nigga said we cooked. Damn. That's how you feel? Okay. All right. I see we still got some life in here. We still got life in here. Okay, cool. I got to make sure y'all still rocking with us. I do think that we're going to get blasted by LA. I do think we're going to get blasted by LA, but I still think that we got a shot, bro. Like they still going to have to roll that hoe out. They still going to have to roll it out for sure. They still going to have to roll that out for sure, bro. No cap. No cap. I guess I have like another 15 or 20 minutes to go, bro. If y'all want. I would love to watch Canales' presser today because I haven't watched it yet. So let's watch it together as a family. If y'all watched it already, I apologize. And then the first thing that I got to see is this nigga got a smile on his face, bro. Like, maybe it's just me. Chat, maybe it's just me, bro. Maybe it's just me, chat. Maybe it's just me.
All right, Wednesday got here quick. We landed pretty early on Tuesday and got right to work. Fired up about the game plan and getting back to work with the guys. So a really focused group, hungry and ready to go.
And can you give an update on Horn?
I'm going to keep all injuries, but I will say they're in the protocol, so they have to go. They have to make sure they pass all the necessary tests with all that.
Do you think it'd be unlikely, given the short week, that they'd be able to clear?
The short week does have a significant factor in it, and again, we just have to go through the right protocol, make sure that they're clearing, each hurdle along the way.
You have 3 healthy inside linebackers today. How much does that create an issue with special teams and plotting out the week, just as far as depth?
Absolutely. That's a group that we really lean on for special teams in their contributions in the coverage units, particularly the interior of the punt team on kickoff, but they're all over. They're all over the core 4 special teamers, that we count on. And so that's an area that we have to look at to see who can help us there. And, could come from other positions, but those guys have been very valuable for us this year.
You've seen what Stafford's done and what his stats he's posted this year, and then you guys come in with a secondary that's a little bit banged up and possibly missing more. I mean, how do you deal with all this?
Yeah, we got to press into the game plan, look at what they're doing, how they're finding success. He's distributing the ball well to a bunch of different wide receivers, and he's playing great football. He's getting the ball out fast, and he's going through his progressions. He has a group that he really trusts, and so we have to lean in on what they've been doing lately and make sure that we have solutions for that in our coverages and be aware of how they're trying to attack.
I mean, on that note, he's been doing this for so long. Can you throw anything at him that surprises him anymore?
You could. You should. We should try to, in different ways. And first part of it is just formation recognition, looking at the route stems and how they're trying to protect each angle of the cut. They go in, out, and up, from a bunch of different spots, and they have good variety and throw it to all, the tight ends. They throw it to the receivers, to the back. So we got to be aware of all that.
Do you get Trevin back this week?
We should. Yes. He was out there today participating.
Facing 2 of the more highly known play callers in the league 2 weeks in a row. What's the difference in those 2, and what is the challenge when we're facing that?
Start with the similarities. There's great balance in what they do. They make sure they get the run game going, and they have actions that come off of that. The drop back schemes, they're different from one team to the next, but it's about execution. It's about finding that first open guy and playing fast in the pocket and guys being where they're supposed to be. So it's timing sensitive. All those things are. But I think it's also just the variety of the attack and the different ways, the screen game, the run game, the pass game, all those things really tied in. And it's a really detailed part of what they do with their formations to make everything look the same. Starts the same, ends up different. And 2 guys that I really respect, to be able to look at the crossover tape, to watch as I'm studying the defense, but to flip over on the other side and to see how they deploy their offense. These are guys that I really respect and try to emulate.
Shorten a week like this, how does your preparation change? Do you try to cram everything as possible, or do you look to kind of pick and choose spots of more emphasis versus maybe a full week where you'd have more time?
It's really just the Tuesday. The Tuesday is the day that really gets crammed a little bit because playing on Monday night, that's typically a prep day, afternoon, evening, once you've gone through Tell the Truth Monday. So when we get to Tuesday, we have to kind of condense some of the information to make sure that, we can get all those things done, whether it's first, second, and third down. And we just got to be really efficient with our time. The good part about it is at this point in the season, we know what we're doing. We know the concepts. And so then it's just a matter of making those decisions quickly to put our guys in the best position.
Get out of the two new cornerbacks, Rochelle and Long.
Yeah, they got to come and help us out. They got to contribute. And these are guys that Jonathan Cooley has familiarity with, also Ajero, guys that they've coached before in the past. Both were former Rams too, so they'll have some familiarity with the concepts, and that'll be a good thing for us. And we're going to ask those guys to help out on special teams as well in different ways.
Dave, without you've been doing these quarterly reviews, are you going to do that during the bye week instead now, since you didn't really have Monday to kind of do that this?
Absolutely, we'll take the bye week, the first couple days, dive into those things, dive into the all of our processes, offense, defense, and special teams, and look at guys, see who can help us and see who is helping us, and try to keep putting them in those positions to be successful.
Are you at the point where you feel like you said you guys know the concepts, you know what's going on? Do you feel like any sort of major change that you would make to either play calling or the depth chart would be the answer moving forward? Are you at a point where you just think pushing forward is the best thing to do?
Yeah, just execution. And all of us, myself included, making sure that the game plan we put together, the vision that we have comes to life, and making sure that our players are continuing.
I would love to know, I'll just be honest with y'all. I'm just going to cut in right now. Okay, I will walk. I got you for sure. He talks about the vision and the vision coming together. I would just love to know what the vision was for the 49ers game that made you run the football only 9 times. But that's just me.
To improve fundamentally, and that's the difference at this point in the season. It's the teams that can find a way to improve their technique and fundamentals and continue to make that an emphasis late into the season that have success. And so we got to get back to that, making sure we're.
Yeah, bro. On FPFO, we call this nigga Youth Pastor Canales. That's his name because that's what he gives every single day of his life.
Executing on all sides, and then for sure from a coaching staff standpoint, making sure we're connected to the things that have found us success and be committed to those.
And with the way that the season has gone and the bye week being so late, first, how is the room holding?
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm glad that you said this shit, bro, because I don't know if y'all saw when he said that. I just rolled my eyes. Tell the truth Monday. Bro, Jesus Christ.
Up because I know there's injuries this week that have to be contended with. There have been injuries all season long, but there's been a long slog to get to this point.
Absolutely, and we have our rhythms, and the guys know what to expect when they show up each day. So we have that process in place. So that part feels good, and they're hungry. They're hungry to get back to work. They're hungry for another opportunity to play against a formidable opponent, an NFC opponent, and to play our best football in that game.
Is the bye week maybe a talking point to your guys this week, saying that's the carrot that's out there, empty the tank this week, or do you even broach that?
No, we have to have the mentality to empty the tank every single week and have that championship mentality so that we don't treat any of these games different. They're all high stakes games, especially now at this point in the season.
Championship mentality. You have a handful of former Rams players and coaches. How important have those guys been in helping you establish the culture here?
It's huge. And I love having coaches that come from different places that have had success so that I can bounce off ideas for ways we might structure our meetings, ways we might structure our practices, and also just from a game plan standpoint, how to attack, how to get different concepts involved, because that's where we can pick different pieces from where we've been and try to make those come alive, so long as it fits what the players do well, and having a bunch of guys come from the Rams, Goody and Joe were at the Bucks, and they had a lot of success in the last couple of years, and really just allows us to have that diversity along the staff and good information.
You want to talk about execution. I'm just curious, what leads to poor execution? Is it overthinking, just from a coach's standpoint?
We always try to go back to the fundamentals, the basics of technique, first and foremost, starting the playoff with the right formation, making sure we're in a great stance. And then the basic parts of it, blocking, tackling, exploding off the ball, taking care of the ball, all those basic things, because in any given day, scheme outside, if you set scheme aside, it's always going to come back to the most technically sound players that have success, most technically sound play callers. We have to be committed to those things that fit the areas so the guys can anticipate what's coming. And that allows us to play fast. But that's always something tangible that our players can really sink their teeth into. And that's always been a goal of mine, is to try to give them something real that they can work on. And each player, each coach, looking for ways to improve, looking for ways to find an edge from week in and week out.
Sounds so simple, but is it difficult? I mean, you said stance, and I mean, that just seems like basic stuff.
It's very difficult, and I think it gets overlooked because focus and refocus is the real challenge. Can you continue to refocus on a play-to-play basis, drive to drive? And then, of course, week to week, can you refocus and re-engage your mind to find constant improvement? Our goal is to find our best football. That's got to be the pursuit, so that we can improve the whole thing. And that takes discipline, that takes focus. And particularly when we get a bye week.
Literally, bro. Like, that's one of the things, like, it's so frustrating to me, bro. And like, I feel like sometimes, honestly, like, just in a moment of self-awareness, I feel like sometimes, like, I'm just so hypercritical and too hypercritical about just like the small things. Like, you know, if you've been around FPFO for a while, you know that the past 2 years has been how Bryce approaches post-game pressers, and how soft-spoken, and how like just fidgety, and he just gives me little boy vibes, right? It's the same thing with Canales, bro. And I feel like I'm just too hypercritical at times, but it's just like, bro, like it's just such a bot. Just such a bot, bro. Like, no genuine emotion. Like, no, like, it just all seems like a PR PC facade, bro. Like, some of these answers are just so frustrating for me. They're just so frustrating for me, bro.
This late in the season, it really does take that type of mental toughness to show up and go back to work and find an edge.
Generally speaking, I know you don't want to talk about specific I know you don't want to talk about specific injuries, but when you're dealing with a young player who's oft injured and you've seen it multiple times, but you also think that player is talented, how do you balance the upside of the talent versus, can I depend on this player when I'm trying to win a ball game? Like when you're doing the planning process of the week.
Yeah, well, where I go initially is just making sure I'm connecting with the player to keep them motivated to get back to the place where they are physically fit and ready to go. But then there's like an emotional part as well, because guys can get discouraged, you know, when they keep fighting against this or that and things start to show up, you know, particularly our college players coming to the pros, and the season starts to get really long at this point, and emphasizing the importance of body care and all that. And then also being able to motivate them on the things that they're doing well and how to just continue to build that way, so that we can compartmentalize it, so they don't start making broad judgments about how this season is going to turn out for them specifically, but where they can actually just focus in on what is the next task at hand, whether it's getting back physically or whether it's taking the next step mentally, being involved in our game plans.
Kind of up on what Mike asked earlier, not that question, but you're obviously raised the expectations here with the wins you've had so far. But with that, people become even more specific with things. And he was asking about the play calling. What do you feel like you bring to the play calling? How do you evaluate how you've been as a play caller? And do you feel like that's the best thing moving forward?
It's an important part of everything. And I try to be really transparent with the players, and to own up to the places and the areas I could do better in this situation. And I want them to understand this is all of us. We're accountable to each other. We're all pushing to try to win, to try to improve our football. And I'm certainly a part of that as a head coach. And then, of course, as the play caller. So we all have to be connected on that. And we all have to be real about it, you know, and look at the opportunities. And while players may get the scrutiny for, you know, a missed play here, a missed block there, a drop pass, an errant throw, a missed tackle, those types of things happen. The coaches are involved as well, and we all got to be on the same page and be humble about it and be looking forward to improving. And, you know, for me as a youngish play caller, you know, but pretty early in my career, you know, every week is a lesson for me. Every week there's something to take, and I have great people around me that we talk to, that we have accountability with. And I lean on those guys because I want to get better as well as we continue to do this process. Yep. Thank you.
Nobody fret because he's a young play caller. Nobody fret. And we're having execution problems 12 weeks into the season, and it's just something that we have to work out and get figured out. It's just very frustrating for me, chat. Very frustrating for me. Very frustrating for me. Phantom, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. I mean, I get it. I understand. I get it. It's just, bro. It's just okay. And if that is him, and that is genuinely him, for me personally, it just feels fake. It feels fake. It feels fake. It feels forced. It feels like he just tries so hard to be this happy-go-lucky. Oh, everything is rainbows and cotton candies. And we just have to work on execution, but we'll get them next time. Like, it's just one of those. That's how I feel. But I understand where you're coming from. I do. I get it. Like I said, that's why I said it's a me problem. That's why I said that, Walk. It's a me problem. It really is, honestly. Let's go look at what Bryce had to say today. This should be fun. This should be interesting.
Bryce, the passing game has obviously been inconsistent throughout the year. You guys have had some pretty big highs and some low lows. Why do you think you guys have struggled to kind of maintain the momentum in the passing game from week to week?
Yeah, it just boils down to execution. Obviously, it goes week to week.
Matter.
You got to be able to turn the page, whether it be good or bad. And we have all the guys in there with the right mindset. It's just execution, I think.
Walk, yes. That's why it doesn't work for me. When you don't have the ability to execute at a high level, at least I can rely on, okay, at least you telling your team to crash something. But when I have to deal with a nigga that isn't executing, isn't doing a good job play calling, and then he's going to go in the pressure and say, oh, we just have to execute better. Everything will be okay. I'm a young play caller. Please cut me some slack. We'll get them next time. When I had to deal with that, on top of you not executing properly, on top of you calling possibly one of the worst games that we've seen in your career on Monday night, yeah, actually you're 1,000% right. Yes, that's when it becomes alarming and troublesome for JJ. Yes, I'd agree with that. 1,000%.
First, just growing that identity, all of us, especially as a younger unit. But now, everyone's pros, everyone's embraced it. There's no excuse, for us not to be consistent. So that's a challenge for us. At the end of the day, we want to do whatever it takes to win. Obviously, pass game helps out the run game, helps out the explosives, helps out the team. So, we're working to be more consistent there.
I know a lot is made of like the multiple different iterations of the offensive line, but they're blocking pretty well.
For sure.
Do you feel like there is a strength in being able to not only have that depth, but also most of those guys are familiar with, you've played with them for multiple years. Like, is that helping with your mobility and your anticipation?
100%. It's a huge luxury. Having the line that we've had, like you said, with so many different lineups, everyone's kind of came in and not missed a beat. That speaks to the culture of the room, to the coaches, to everyone. And for me, it gives me a ton of comfortability. I'm super grateful for the unit we have.
A lot of rollouts called to you, and I know the plus and the minuses on that. Do you feel like that allows you to get comfortable in the passing game, or do you feel more comfortable if you were just in shotgun and away with a gun from there?
No, I feel comfortable with whatever coach calls. Obviously, I trust him to be balanced, to call the game how he sees fit. Whatever it is week to week that he feels like is necessary, telling me to execute. I feel comfortable doing it. There's no excuses there. For me, no matter what it is, I pride myself in being able to execute that we do as offense. So that's always a mindset.
Enrico put an emoji out Tuesday with a kind of confused look. He only had 6 carries. Have you and he talked about that, and how did that how did that go if you did?
Not about that specifically, but Rico's a competitor. Obviously, he wants to win. We always want to win. Didn't get that done. So we all have competitive spirit. We all have that stuff. We talk about the game and the game plan and the stuff that's in house. What we do under this building. So that'll be the focus.
When you're looking at evaluating your own play as you go through and watch the play, are you seeing opportunities where maybe you could run more, or no, or what do you think?
I'm just taking things play by play. We talk about getting through progressions. When one's open, throwing a number one. Obviously coaches put plays in.
That's a great question, and I don't know how I feel about the answer. There are a lot of opportunities for Bryce Young to run the football. 1,000%. Great question.
With a 1, a 2, a 3, or 4, my job is to get through all that when I can. And when there's times to run, when the play breaks down, when we're above the time clock, then that's what it is. But again, every game is different, every play is different. Regardless of running and passing, you can't predetermine either one. You have to make whatever is the right decision for the team. So the goal is to be as efficient and doing that as possible.
When you do film study after the games, are you ever really surprised by what you see, or are you able to go from play to play and kind of analyze each play after, like on the sideline, or is it once you look at the film in totality, do you ever come away with anything different than what you might have seen, drive to drive?
Yeah, of course. Whenever you're able to watch after the game, you're able to watch the full, the full picture. Obviously, you can't see everything on the field, and then you don't see what happened on the backside when the ball's already let go. Things like that. That information you take in there on the sideline. You get the pictures, so obviously you don't get the full after whatever it cuts off in. So there's always takeaways you get to learn from watching the film after.
Right. You guys have been in several situations this year where you've bounced back with big performances after tough games. Is it just human nature to be a little more focused, a little sharper in those situations?
I wouldn't say so. We pride ourselves in not looking at the week before and turning the page and focusing week to week. We don't look at it as an advantage, a disadvantage, anything like that. We're 0-0. That's how we look at it as. We have a great opportunity against a really good team we have a ton of respect for this week. So right now we're just doing everything we can during the week to give ourselves the best chance to be successful.
What has made the Rams so successful?
Obviously watching the defensive side, studying that, it's a lot of things. How hard they play, how physical they are up front. It's a really good group. They play with a lot of physicality. High motors, guys that you could tell understand the system, have a lot of dog up front. So with stopping the run, getting after the passer, they do a really good job. At the second level, they communicate really well. They do a great job orchestrating things with play recognition, run and pass. And then, a really good group in the back end as well. Great job, pattern matching, very, very smart guys back there. They go and get after the ball, and then do a great job mixing in coverages, mixing in blitzes, giving us having scheme that, obviously from the protection side and run side, we have to spend time scheming up and having looks for. So, it's a myriad of things. Again, it's a really good group, really good unit. For us, it's a great opportunity to go up against a great unit, work on our execution. So we're excited for the opportunity.
I'm just curious, if you had to quantify it, like how much tape do you watch in a week? How many hours?
Yeah, I don't know about hours, but just stay after for however long. It's, again, I don't go for a time. I have like a set routine of the things that I want to get watched. Just a couple games a day with the cut ups, stay ahead of what day it is, watching games through different lenses, and then a couple of other miscellaneous cut ups that I just watch at different times as a routine. So again, honestly, to be honest, it depends on how focused I am. I take a lot. It gets, obviously throughout the year, it's a lot. So I'm always listening to something. If I feel like I want a break, I take that. So it's more just I have a set amount of things I need to watch versus how long it takes.
How do you then decompress during the week? Like what's something, like, I know you play video games, you watch basketball, but like, is there something that you specifically do to like have like a happy place sort of during the week?
Yeah, I really just leave everything here. I'll stay, I watch film and do all that stuff here for however long I need to. And then like the moment I'm done with that last thing for the day, when I leave, I'm not thinking about the game plan. I think about football. You have your little exceptions every once in a while, but when I'm here, I'm the cue. I'm doing whatever it takes for a team, and then when I leave night to night, then I'm just myself away from football.
Wednesday was his day. He'd come.
Chat, y'all gonna judge me? Y'all gonna judge me if I say that I don't like that answer? Yes or no? Yeah. Hey, I'm not gonna hold you 919. Yeah, nigga, I'm feeling the same way. That might be part of the damn it problem. But again, I'm a chill. He's under enough scrutiny without JJ. I just want to know if y'all gonna judge me. I hated the answer. I did. But it's a me thing. I'm sure it's a me.
And go grab some Thai food, come in here, eat the same thing every week, and be here like 11 o'clock at night. Have you got like a routine like that? What's the latest you stay there?
Yeah, I have a routine, for every day. I couldn't tell you the latest I've stayed. But again, honestly, it all boils down to how focused I am as far as getting things done without a break. Some days.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like it. I just don't like it, bro. Like hearing this, listen. Oh man, bro. Oh man. Hearing this when you've had the season that you've had as being Bryce Young, and then hearing this as a fan, this is very frustrating for me. Honestly, this is very frustrating for me. Honestly, bro, I'm not gonna hold you. Walt, I see why you did what you did, nigga. I see why you suggested this shit. Walt wanted to get me worked up tonight. On Thanksgiving Eve, Walt wanted to get me worked up tonight. I see why you did what you did, Walt. You should be ashamed of yourself, nigga. Because I feel like we had gotten to a great calm place. I would have watched this on my own time, been livid, and just chill. Walt, you not sneaky, Walt. I see what you did, nigga. You did this shit on purpose. On Thanksgiving Eve, you wanted to get me riled up. Because I don't like the last 3 minutes. I don't like it one damn it bit. Not one bit. Not one bit, dog.
I just don't take a break and watch everything I need to watch. Some days I'll push it back and I'll procrastinate, or if I have something to do in the training room, I'll do that first. So again, it's the same amount of stuff getting watched. The time varies, just depends on the day.
Yeah, bro. Hey, yeah, unfortunately, nigga. Unfortunately, the NFL is not a 9 to 5, bro. I mean, and I understand they get there early and they get there late and they leave late, shit like that. I understand that, bro. But that's how I receive it as well, Rome. That's how I receive it as well, bro. And when my quarterback is averaging 140 yards a game, 150 yards a game, unfortunately, at week 12, I don't necessarily want to hear him say, "Oh yeah, when I leave the building, I just leave it all here." Maybe it's a me problem. Maybe it's a me problem, bro. Maybe it's JJ. Maybe it is. I'm self-aware enough to admit that maybe it's a me problem, but I can just admit to the chat, I don't personally want to hear that shit. I don't. Not when we've been average and this offense has underperformed, and transparently in year 3, you have underperformed as well, because we've done so much to get weapons around you. We've invested so much capital to improve this offensive line. We went out and got an additional 1,000-yard running back, right? So I don't necessarily know, transparently, being JJ, I don't know if I want to hear you say, "Oh yeah, I just leave everything at work." Oh, everything that's work related, I just leave it all at work. No big deal. That's how I decompress. If I stay focused on the film, then I'll get it done quick. If I don't, then I'm just telling you, bro. And again, like, I'll just let the interview keep the presser keep going, bro. But yeah, dog, this is.
Is this year and why?
It's hard to compare. But again, just from this week, yeah, it's a great unit. Individually, they do a great job creating one-on-ones, winning those one-on-ones. They did a great job scheme-wise. It's rare in this league. I don't want to say rare, but it's always it's always, you give a lot of credit when you see people are able to create pressures and sacks off both schemes.
Hey, and y'all know how, like, I get on my high horse and I get to tweaking out sometimes for the people that have been here for a while. And I get on my high horse and me and Terrence just get to chatting about niggas wanting to die behind this shit or niggas being willing to die behind this shit, right? Like, we obviously, to a certain degree, because it is an extremely violent sport, right? To a certain degree, we do mean it literally, but we also mean it figuratively as well, bro. Like, honestly, like, you like have to be crazy and obsessed with this shit to get to the level at which it takes to perform at the highest tier. Honestly, this interview doesn't register in my brain as a nigga that's willing to die behind this shit. It doesn't. I'm gonna keep letting it rock.
Team and one-on-one wins, and they're able to do that. They've been able to do that all year. So again, we have a ton of respect for this unit. It'll be a great challenge for us.
So circle back on something you mentioned before about leaving it all here. When did you grow to appreciate the value of being able to have that cutoff point for yourself?
Yeah, that's something.
Hey, do y'all remember? Are y'all old enough to remember? Are y'all old enough to remember the time and undoubtedly one of the greatest Panthers to ever put on a jersey? But are y'all old enough to remember the time where it was like a known thing in the city, within the building, and then the major networks finally started covering it, where Luke Kuechly didn't even have cable in his home? Are y'all old enough to remember that? Right? So y'all have to understand, like, that's what I grew up on. Right? Like, that's the brand of Panther football that I know, that has been ingrained in my brain, because those were our most successful years. Shit like that, right? We know Cam Newton now, the media personality and all of these things, but when Cam Newton was in the NFL, bro, and actually playing for the Carolina Panthers and our franchise quarterback, it was really never that, unless it was like some charity stuff, something of the sort, right? Are y'all old enough to remember Luke Kuechly not having cable in his house? And then having the ability on Sundays to literally damn near tell guys exactly what play the offense would be running. Damn near having the ability to place guys in positions to make plays. Or is this one of those Mandela effect type things? Am I blazing? Am I tripping? Or do y'all remember that as well? Right? And this nigga is telling me that he's averaging 150 yards or whatever it is per game. He is telling us in the national media and, just the nation in general and all football fans around the world, oh yeah, to me personally, hey, listen, when I need time, when I need to decompress, just go watch some basketball, go play some video games. Everything is A-okay. Rainbows and cotton candy. No big deal. No big deal. No big deal. This nigga Luke Kuechly didn't have fucking cable in his house for like the first 7.5 years of his career, dog.
That I started in college, and it was just something that was really helpful for me. I've really appreciated it since then. It kind of allows me to just, again, be my all here. Kind of have that line in the sand, and then decompress. Make sure that I try not to let it overflow. Give myself time to be human, know what to expect from a day-to-day basis. So yeah, it's been helpful.
Right, so you look at like Stafford, he's had an incredible season. He's 27 straight touchdown passes, Mike was saying, 9 interceptions, 30 touchdowns on the year. I'm curious, during the year, do you ever have a chance to look at what other quarterbacks are doing? I know you got all your preparation you have to do, so probably a bit of time. But do you have any chance to look at what other quarterbacks are doing, or is that mostly saved for after the season?
Yeah, it depends on. So I've watched a lot of Stafford just because we played the NFC West. So we a lot of similar opponents, and yeah, I mean he's been balling, and not like that's new. He's an amazing quarterback for the duration of his career. He's been elite for a really, really long time. So yeah, I've been able to watch a ton of games because of that. Have a ton of respect for him, for the way he plays, for everything about him. So yeah, I have a ton of respect for him.
Understanding how prolific that offense has been this season, and the defense is missing some pieces potentially on Sunday. How much, maybe pressure isn't the right word, but urgency is there to make sure that you're controlling the ball and moving the ball and score? I mean, obviously that's the goal every possession. But.
Yeah, No, it's no added pressure. You know, one, we have faith in our defense. We trust in them. We believe in them. Obviously, we respect them as offense, as a defense, as a team. But, you know, always trust my guys. And then, you know, I trust on coach for that. You know, we don't go in saying, hey, this is going to be a slow game, or this is going to be, you know, we're going to run as many plays as possible. That's not how it is. You know, we put in plays. Obviously, we trust coach to kind of, you know, read the game, read how he feels like it should go. He has great discernment when it comes to that stuff. So, you know, for whatever game it ends up being, you know, we're prepared for whatever it is. We're always going to be have an attacking mindset, attacking mentality on offense. That's, you know, one of our pillars. And then, you know, obviously for us as an offense, when coach has certain calls in situational stuff, we know what it means. So whatever it is, we're going to trust coach with that.
Do you have memories of the Rams coming back to LA when you were in high school?
Yeah, I was younger. Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, high school probably is about the time. Yeah, it was a while without a team in LA.
That's all y'all want to question Stafford. I mean, he went through a lot of hard times over his career. Played for a team that wasn't complete, and he really didn't get to show all he could do until he got to the Rams. What do you take from that and watch that experience he's been through?
Not really something that I've personally thought about a lot. Just again, I'm not a big comparer of others. I just try to run my own race. Again, big fan of Stafford and everything he's been throughout his entire career. A ton of respect for him. Again, not just from this season, but since I've gotten to the league, you know, I've been able to watch a lot of film of his, and again, have a ton of respect for him. Me personally, I'm just kind of a run my own race type of person.
Thanks, Bryce.
Appreciate you guys.
No, I'm chilling. Earl, what's up, bro? I'm chilling. Everybody remain calm. I'm chilling. But you know, when I go on X, right, and I just see some of the things that people say and the way they defend the bullshit and just get to twerking for them, shit like that, right? That already makes me feel a certain way. It does, transparently, honestly, God honest truth. It does. And then when I see pressers like that, it really just does like take me to a point of where I just want to ram my head through a fucking wall. I'll just be honest. No funny shit. Like God honest truth, honestly. Right? And so for me to just withstand and withhold from crashing out, you know, I will just shake my head. Because the second that I start ridiculing or, you know, say anything down or not the best about Bryce Young, then I'm a hater. You know what I'm saying? Then, oh, we don't deserve him because this is the way the fan base treats him. Right? Shit like that. This nigga just told us, oh yeah, when I'm in the building, I'm fully locked in, but when I leave, I'm jerking off. No biggie. No biggie. Hey, no biggie. I leave everything at home. I average 133 yards a game passing with, you know, two a wide receiver, one the top 10 draft pick, the other wide receiver, first round pick, you know, 1,000-yard backs, averaging 130 yards a game. No biggie, no big deal. Just go home and play some video games, leave it all at the office, right? But I'm a hater, right? Just damn near unfathomable. Just damn near unfathomable. And I blame Big Walk for this shit. I blame Big Walk for this shit. This is on Big Walk. This is big. The reason why I'm not going to be able to end this stream with peace in my heart is because Big Walk made me watch the Bryce Young interview before I logged off of this bitch. I blame it on Big Walk. Scrap, don't blame it on me. Scrap, don't blame it on me. Blame it on Big Walk. Big Walk literally said, JJ, watch the Bryce Young interview. It was very interesting. He said, watch the Bryce Young. All I wanted to do was watch the Dave Canales interview and just go on about my night, right? Get prepared for Thanksgiving. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do. But Big Walk said, go watch the Bryce presser. It was very interesting. We should watch that together as a family. So it's all, hey, don't blame JJ. The only thing I did was click on the video. I took what the chat told me, and I went over and I did what the chat told me. What the chat, I gave the people what they wanted to see. And now Scrap, we're all livid. We're all livid. Because what the fuck was that? After the performance we saw on Monday night, those are the answers that we want to give. I saw somebody in the chat say, hey, Bryce, this is the point at which you lie. And transparently, I totally agree. What Drake say? Lie to me, but make you feel good? Whatever the fuck he say? That part for sure. Because I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was about. I don't know what that was about. But I heard that you don't need that this shit, it don't really mean that much to you. That's how I heard it in my head, bro, in my ear. And I know everybody is objectively different. So maybe his process is what it is and that works for him. But for me, it just doesn't get the job done. Remember, I was in high school when Cam and Luke were dominating this league, bro. That so when I say that's what I grew up on and that's what I know, like, yeah, I saw the Foster and DeLone days and Smitty when he was dominating and shit like that, Pep and Mike Ruck. Like, I remember all of that. But what I grew up on, the best point in Carolina Panthers history, the most consistent was Cam and Luke and the guys that were around them, TD and all of those guys. That's what I grew up on. Double Trouble, all of that shit. That's what I remember vividly and where I grew up on. And so when I hear a nigga talking about, oh, yeah, this is my process, and my process doesn't align and match up to the standard of what I believe Carolina Panther football is, that's when I start getting a little uneasy, and that's when my blood starts to boil, and then niggas start accusing me of being on the brink of crashing out, because transparently I am. I am, when I have to hear that after the performance that I saw Monday night. I am. So, you know, just crazy shit, bro. Just crazy shit. Just crazy. Ooh, boy. That was a lot to digest, bro. That was a lot to digest. Closing the stream out for real. I don't even know what to say. Chat. What are we gonna do? Chat, what are we gonna do, man? Holy shit. What did I just watch? Oh man. Wow. Okay, well, maybe when I go to sleep tonight, I will not put much stock into that when I wake up tomorrow morning. Because that was a lot for me. That was a lot for me. Because now I'll be honest. Actually, I won't even be disrespectful. Because there's no way as a content creator, right, for a team, and I'm going to be very, very clear when I say this. There's no way as a content creator you should give a presser after the performance we saw Monday night. That there's no way as a content creator you give a presser that makes me believe that there's potential that I could be doing more film study and more work and care more about this football team than you do as a franchise quarterback. Honestly, that interview really did just trigger me. Honestly, bro, that shit really did just trigger me. Transparently, like God honest truth, it did. Yeah, that was a lot, bro. That was a lot. That was too much for me. I wish that I wouldn't have done that to myself. Honestly, that was a lot. Well, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a very, very blessed day with y'all's families tomorrow or friends, however you choose to celebrate. I don't believe that we're going to do a game preview this week just because the week is so odd. We had the Monday night game, and then I believe Terrence went home this weekend, or this week he's going home for Thanksgiving. So I don't think that we're going to do a game preview this week. I think we'll just we'll let everything rock out and kind of roll into the game on Sunday. Like he mentioned, we will be in the city this weekend. So if you see us, say what's up. For sure. Then we're going to the Hornets game. Not even actually, I know that we're going to the Hornets game Saturday night. My boys from the 6 will be in the building, man. Shout out to the Toronto Raptors. Shout out BI 2-5, baby. K-Town finest, shit like that. Shit like that for sure. But yeah, we will be in attendance this weekend. If you see us, say what's up. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate the love and support that you guys continue to give us, man. It really is surreal, for real, bro. It really is surreal. You guys are the reason why we continue to go and keep pushing week in, week out, day in, day out, and continue to try and transcend this space as a whole and continue to try and be the best version of ourselves. Whether it's forward facing on the back end, shout out to the whole team. Shout out Terrence, Rye, Haley, Dylan. Shout out to the whole team, man. It's just, like I said, it's very, very surreal, the love and support that you guys constantly show us, bro. So appreciate that. Tap in with us on Sunday if you're going to the game. Shoot us a DM on any of the social media platforms down below. And if you're not already, make sure to follow us on all of those platforms. But like I said, if you're going to the game on Sunday, tap in with us. Shoot us a DM. We'll link up. Maybe have a shot. Maybe have a drink if you guys partake. I know it's quite a few of you guys that don't do that kind of thing, but you just want to have a conversation, get a flick, whatever the case may be. Let's do it. We can make that happen for sure. If you're watching on YouTube right now, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn the bell notification on, so you guys know what we have going on, and stay up to date with FPFO, the conglomerate as a whole. If you're watching on X, shout out to you too. I know it's quite a few content creators that are live right now. As we wrap, the people that are in here, y'all go watch Dunk. Y'all go watch Panthers on Tap, bro. Get different perspectives. Don't just come to FPFO for perspective, bro. I would never encourage y'all to do that. Go support all of the other content creators in the space. Go get their perspective. Because I'm very, very emotional about this team, and sometimes they look at situations a bit more objectively than JJ does. And sometimes they look at situations a little more analytical than JJ does, or Terrence, or FPFO as a whole, right? So just, as we wrap up here, y'all go over there, check those guys out, man. Shout out to Panthers on Tap and Dunk, Unnecessary Bluntness, the conglomerate. Shout out to all of the other content creators in this space. We love 99% of you guys. There's definitely that 1% that we can't stand, and I think we've been vocal enough about that. So, shout out to y'all too, because it is a grind, and at least y'all weren't me out mix. Thought we were going to get through a whole stream without mentioning them, but I guess not. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Make sure to tap in with us on social media. Love y'all always. And also for the people that are in the FPFO Fantasy League, don't let me in the playoffs because I'm coming to do damage. For sure. We'll talk to y'all next week.